Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the eighth and final quarterfinal of hashtag Jeopardy Live Panel Tournament of Panelists. Once again, I'm Andy Saunders, and we have a full house tonight in this eighth and final quarterfinal. So far we've had 39 people take part, eight more, the final eight here. I'll start off by introducing the second half of our multinational, bipartisan judging panel, the founder of the JeopardyFan.com, Jeannie Kenkel, who is still watching tennis.
Yes, always. I did take a nap in between hangouts, so I gave it up for a while.
But now without any further ado, the panel tonight, we have once again Terrence Jordan. He's on his phone, as you can see by the aspect ratio. Not the first time that somebody's had to use their phone. Google has been finicky the last couple of days. We also have, channeling Woody Page behind him, we have Michael Duval, Mike Duval.
Yes,
In case you can't see it, if a Quonset hut falls in a Chuck Forest and Brandon Saunders isn't around to hear it, is he still the best of all time?
It's the shout out to last night's panel and the playful banter between Brandon Saunders and Steve Bonneman. So, hi guys.
Shout out to some of our previous quarterfinalists. We then have Michael Bilow. I think this is the first time you've been on one of our panels with a group. The last time you were on, it was a one-on-one interview with me.
That's right.
Yeah. Also, we have Karen Ash.
Hey, America.
The last time you were on, Karen, I seem to remember you describing a cartoon character with dollar signs in your eyes, talking about Final Jeopardy wagering.
Yeah, that's correct. Still true.
Next up, we have Elan Sherbill.
Hi guys.
Brandon Randall.
Hey.
Brad Nehring, who is audio only at this point.
Hello, I promise I'm here.
And last and certainly not least, Arthur Chu, second place
Hello.
in the most recent Tournament of Champions. He's been traveling, but he is able to join us once again on our panel this evening. So the way this works, once again, 6 questions. And everyone will get a chance to answer. Everyone will get a score between 1 and 10. And then, of course, there's the fan vote portion afterwards. Now, let's see tonight's first question. Would you put your picture with Alex on your Tinder? Wait a sec. That's the question for Jeopardy Love Panel. There we go. This is Jeopardy Live Panel. Okay, so tonight's first question. Do you think Jeopardy should release a yearly DVD? And if so, what should they put on it?
Yeah.
Sorry, I just want to, before everyone jumps in, the order, I'm going to go Terrence first, and then Mike Duval, Michael Bilow, Karen, Elan, Brandon, Brad, and Arthur. Sorry, I'm going from my right to the far left. I apologize, Arthur.
All right.
But everyone will get a chance to answer. Terrence, you go first.
Logging in first. Yeah, I'd say absolutely. You could put the most memorable moments of the season on it. Tournament of Champions, whoever had maybe the biggest money win or the biggest Daily Double or Final Jeopardy, and maybe kind of an outtake section also would be pretty fun with any just hilariously bad answers or even behind the scenes kind of screw ups, technical difficulties, or whatever.
Okay, Mike.
Yeah, I would love to see one. I agree with what Terrence said. Outtakes would be hilarious. Before I had gone to the show, I didn't realize that was actually a thing that happened. And the very first game of my tape day, Johnny Gilbert was introducing Greg Soroka, returning champion, 7-game winner. Oh my God, he's so amazing! And completely skipped over how many games he'd won and how much money he had won. So he had to reshoot after that first commercial break. I would also selfishly like a DVD because I was only on one game. And it might be nice to kind of have a little bit of a reminder of it. the only hard copy of my game that I have, and I can actually get it to you. I can actually get it and show you, but it's a VHS that my great aunt made me, and the label says Mike TV Show. It doesn't even say Mike on Jeopardy or anything.
Wow.
It's Mike TV Show.
Like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
That's right, yeah. So I would love a DVD, and I think that would be a lot of fun.
Okay, from Mike to Michael.
For me, I mean, I would love a DVD of the highest scoring champion of the year. I think that's an excellent idea, personally.
Of course.
But the things that I would want on a Jeopardy DVD are the stuff that gets cut out of the interviews, because like if you go through, like if you actually seen a game being taped, and then I mean, and you're especially sensitive to it if it was an interview that you've done, there are really important chunks that get cut out of the interviews, and I want them presented kind of as a collage with no context, but just the like 5 to 10 second pieces of the interview that get cut for time and to leave commercials. That's what I want out of a Jeopardy DVD, and the highest scoring game. Those two things.
Karen, what about you?
To answer the very first question, I did actually put my picture with Alex on Tinder. A lot of people thought it was fake, but it was a conversation starter, so I would highly recommend that. To the question about the DVD, I would say yes if this was 2008. It is 2015. I feel like the better option would be to make them online in a more kind of accessible manner. I had a lot of friends who couldn't watch me, or who were international and were like, where can I see this? And I was like, you'll either have to find some shady Russian proxy and download it online, or maybe it goes up on YouTube in a few weeks or so. So my recommendation would be to kind of make these online with all the features that everyone else has kind of mentioned. It'd be fun to see the full chats. It'd be fun to see some kind of bloopers and things like that. But I would say no to the DVDs, because I can't think of the last time I personally watched one.
Okay.
Elan.
I agree with Karen. I don't think DVD is the right format, but I also want to say I live in Chicago. They air Jeopardy at 3:30 in the afternoon when most people are at work. I don't own a DVR, so I almost never get to see the show.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I would love a full set of every episode to be able to watch whenever I wanted to, but aside from that, I would love to see a collection of the Ask Alex segments during the commercial breaks. Those are gold. It is really entertaining to watch the audience ask Alex completely bizarre, random questions. I just remember this one kid asked Alex, do you watch Breaking Bad? And he said, actually, you know, Bryan Cranston and I, we co-coached our daughter's Little League basketball team together. Waited a beat, turned around, and goes, and he taught me how to make meth.
Okay, Brandon.
I'm with Karen. I like the online kind of thing. You put more stuff on it, I think. Because the DVD, they put out a DVD like years ago for their 25th anniversary or something like that. And it had a few games, like about 5 games maybe. But you wouldn't be able to fit that much for the season. And online you could put, you know, the entire runs of all the Tournament of Champions contestants. You could put all those bloopers and things like that. They're already kind of doing that with their YouTube account. So I think online would be better. Maybe a DVD with like ultimate highlights or something like that for people that still use DVDs. But I think online would be the best way to go.
Brad?
Yeah, so building off of what Karen said, yeah, absolutely. Although I would worry about some of my personal family members dealing with the online navigation, so maybe a DVD and an online mix would be best. But also kind of going off Terrence and Michael said, I think what would be kind of cool is to do almost like a mic'd up of the final moments when the contestants are standing there talking to Alex, and so you can kind of hear what they're saying. Because I know, like, on the couple of episodes I was on, there were some interesting conversations happening there, and I think it'd be kind of fun for people at home to hear those.
Arthur?
Yeah, I mean, I would have to concur. If you looked at why Sesame Street was running out of money and they had to, do the deal with HBO, it's because the bottom has fallen out of the barrel on DVD sales. Like, DVDs are not really a thing anymore. So online streaming, would definitely be a bigger deal, and I don't see how it would hurt their revenues from the over-the-air broadcasts if they made them available for streaming like a few days later. I would say that what would be cool is that if you had a Blu-ray, you could actually fit an entire season without commercial breaks onto a Blu-ray and just have the whole thing. I would love to have one of those, and I would love to have something that does have outtakes like me correcting Alex Trebek on who wrote Remembrance of Things Past when he thought it was Albert Camus. But that's secondary to I would like as many people to see me as possible. And during my own Jeopardy run, that was only possible because people were willing to flagrantly violate the law and upload them to YouTube, which I thank them for, but I don't want to encourage as a social good kind of thing.
Okay, so what I'm going to do, we're just coming up with their scores for the first question. For the second question, I am going to, because we are slightly larger on this one than we have been, I'm going to go Arthur and then back for question 2. Earlier this question 2, so you have a chance to think about it. Earlier this season, we had a contestant crowdfund in order to raise money to get to their taping in Los Angeles. If you were in that position, if you were in her position, would you do the same thing? We're going to start, once I gave the scores, we're going to start with Arthur and then move, Brad, Brandon, Elan, Karen, Michael, Mike, and Terrence. But for the record, okay, just getting in the scores right now.
I have my show and tell piece I can show. Here's my actual
Oh, cool.
Mike TV show 5615.
Amazing.
Wow.
They still produce these in the lab, I assume, by top scientists.
Like Cowboy Bebop, you have to steal a VCR from a museum.
I know, I don't have a VCR.
Okay, so the question is.
So yes, the question: would you crowdfund if you were in the same position? I think her name was Marissa. But yeah. The scores. If you give me 1 second, sorry, my bad. I am apparently cutting you off at every opportunity, and that's my fault. I do apologize. But scores for question 1: Terrence picks up 8, Mike Duval 7, Michael Bilow 7. Karen 9, Elan 9, Brandon 6, Brad 6, Arthur 9.
Okay.
So that's what we have for the first question. On number 2, Arthur will go first, and then we'll make our way back along. So yes, would you crowdfund if you were in Marissa's position?
Well, I actually was. I think Marissa's friend approached me pretty early on. I was one of the first people to spread that crowdfunding link on social media. So obviously I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I said when I spread that link around, I was really, really lucky when I went on Jeopardy. And I think a lot of people don't really think about the fact that in order to go on a show like that, you have to be able to take time off work. You have to be able to possibly, plane ticket and go out there and then find out you only win $1,000, which barely covers your expenses after taxes and everything. So I'm totally fine with people saying, I really want to be on Jeopardy. I'm going to crowdfund it. I was very lucky that I didn't have to, and it was me thinking about that. Like if I'd gotten the call a year earlier or 2 years earlier when I didn't have as good of a job, when I had a lot more money problems, I might have had to say no. And then history would have changed, right? So I think there's no shame. One of the things I like about the internet age is this crowdfunding thing. There's no shame in asking for help if you need it. There's nothing wrong with that, unless you're like doing something actively bad, unless you're like committing a crime or something. But other than that, people should have the right to send their money to support things that they want to support. And I looked at her page and I thought, this is a nice person, I like her, and I think she should get the chance to be on Jeopardy. I don't think not being able to afford the ticket should be the reason she's not on.
Okay. Brad, are you still with us?
I am, yeah.
Perfect.
I was knocked off for a second, but I'm back now. Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with crowdfunding. I think it's sort of the new normal as far as online fundraising goes, and the beauty of crowdfunding is that you can put it out there for everyone to see, and people don't want to donate, they don't have to, but if people are interested in donating and they see a possibility to help you out, then they can. So I think it's a really nice way to get the support that you need for certain things. And I was Marissa and Karen as well, I think we're all in the same taping day, so I had a chance to talk with Marissa a little bit about that. And, yeah, she seemed like a very nice person, and I can imagine if I was friends with her, I would have given her some money myself. So, yeah, absolutely.
Brandon.
So crowdfunding is something that, or like they said, I agree that it's a good thing. There's some things I think that are better for it than others, and I think something like going on Jeopardy, you need help getting to LA and everything. It's your dream to be on Jeopardy. It's my dream to be on Jeopardy. That's something good you could do. Another thing I think of crowdfunding is good for is like music. Since I'm into music, I want to make an album someday. I might do a Kickstarter or something like that. I don't think it'd be my first option. I'd probably go to like my family and stuff like that first, my friends. But it's a really good way to get everyone together, and there's a lot of people behind you, and I think that's a really great thing to have. To know that you have the support of so many people to help you fulfill your dream. So I think it's a pretty good thing.
Elan, what about you?
Usually with these crowdfunding projects, there's usually a giveaway. Does anyone know what Marissa's promised her givers? Before I answer the question, just curious.
No.
No, it wasn't like that. It's a GoFundMe, so there's no gift.
Wasn't like a percentage of her winnings?
No.
Anyway, my brother crowdfunded his music album, so I definitely support the idea. I also kind of disagree with Arthur. I think people can crowdfund their crimes if they want to, face their legal consequences, but it's people's money. They should be able to do what they want with it. If it means, they want to support people and getting to LA to fulfill their dreams, go for it. Personally, it never even occurred to me. It's always been a dream of mine to be on Jeopardy. Once I got the call to audition, to come in to be a contestant, I was like, there's nothing that's going to keep me back. But I like the idea. Wish I had thought of it. I spent most of my earnings as a third place winner on airfare and hotel accommodations. But yeah, good idea.
Karen.
Yeah, Marissa and I played each other, and like Brad said, we got a chance to hang out. And I was just like, that is brilliant. I wish I had thought of that. Because kind of like Arthur said, it is an expensive trip. I had to take time off work, I had plane tickets, I had hotel fare, I brought people with me. And so I think in my own sense, I kind of crowdfunded by the support I got from work and the support I got from a different way. And the same way with I've crowdfunded sort of friends' movies or things I thought were interesting, and they kind of took their dream with me in a sense, in that I'm never going to make a movie, but by contributing, I get a little part of this. I get to help out. I get to say, hey, I helped make this happen. And I feel like perhaps for a lot of people who contributed to Marissa's campaign, that was kind of it as well. I might never get to be on Jeopardy, but I can help someone else get there. And hey, how cool would it be if she won? And then she did. So I thought that was a brilliant idea that I wish I had thought of myself.
Michael.
For me, the idea of crowdfunding is especially something like to being on Jeopardy is a little bit gauche. And I get that, like, if you want to do it, that's fine. Go ahead and do it. To me, the bigger issue is that the second and third place winners just don't get enough. I would much rather see the second and third place winners, get 2,000 and 3,000 or 2,000 and 4,000. So it clearly covers the cost of at least the trip, because there's no reason that they couldn't bump those prizes up, and people could enjoy their trips, and maybe you'd have more often a situation where the winner ends up winning less money than either second or third place. But I think that's rare enough that it's just like more fun, and would not require that much of an investment to make sure that the second and third place winners are like really taken care of, especially because they don't cover the airfare. So that's what I would prefer to see rather than crowdfunding.
Okay, Mike.
Well, first of all, if two guys can have the dream to raise $10 to make potato salad on crowdfunding websites and raise $55,000, I don't think it's too far outside of the realm of possibility and good intentions to ask for help getting to Jeopardy in California. Over my left shoulder, I swear I didn't plan this. This actually is my actual winnings check that I have deposited on my phone and intend fully to frame. I'll cover up any proprietary information, but there is my actual winnings check. And it's not much. It goes away pretty quick, especially because I'm out on the East Coast. I live in Massachusetts. And getting out to California, it was a $300 plane ticket each way, plus a hotel and any other fun things we wanted to do in California. It goes away pretty quickly, so I have no problem with people asking for crowdfunding, especially in the situation she was in, where she had just lost her job. I think there was another contributing factor that went into it. I also want to respond to something that Brandon said real quick, in that he said you can always ask your family for money. In my case, I brought my girlfriend, my mother, my stepfather, and my grandmother out to California with me. Not on my dime; they all flew on their own paychecks. But it's kind of tough. It would be kind of tough, at least for me personally, in that position, to ask people who are close to me for money to support my dream because they were coming out with me. So I wouldn't totally feel comfortable with that. I would much rather put it out to strangers and see who's willing to chip in $5 or $10 here, and see who's willing to help fund your dream. You only get about 13,000 people or so who's been on the show, so it's not like everyone's going to start doing this, I don't think.
Yeah, definitely.
Terrence.
I think most people that go on the show, it's like a lifelong dream for most of them. So anything short of doing something illegal, I mean, I would be in favor of it. I think if you think about it for that long and it's a bucket list kind of thing that you've been trying to attain, you got to go for it. It kind of reminds me a situation I was in about 6 years or so ago, similar to Marissa's. I had qualified to play in the World Series of Poker. I basically won like a package to play in it. And it kind of led to me losing my job, essentially, because of the time off I needed. And I kind of had the choice after that to either go do it or I could cash it in and keep the money, which was about $12,000. And at that point, I was without a job and everything, but I had the support of my friends and family that said, you know what, you've always wanted to do this. It's been a dream of yours for a long time. Go ahead and do it and just worry about everything else afterwards. And that kind of support, which is similar to what you get by crowdfunding your own trip to Jeopardy, I think is that can make a big difference just on your outlook on it, and it makes the dream come true. So yeah, absolutely, go for it when you can.
Do we have any further debate on this one?
I think I just realized I didn't cover up my address on my check when I just flashed it to the camera, so...
They're already lining up at your door.
Okay. So I thought I can get everyone to click on me because question number 3, as always, is the caption, the Jeopardy-related caption. I'm going to put up a picture. This one is courtesy Jerry Shaw on Twitter. She posted something a week ago. I thought this would make a really good picture. So you click on me, and then you'll hopefully get a good shot at the picture. There you go. So you're going to have to come up with a Jeopardy-related caption. We're going to start here. I'm going to just say Karen will go first, and then
Oh,
from there,
why? All right.
Elan. But you've got some time. You've got till I announce the scores to come up with something. So yeah, Karen, Elan, Brandon, Brad, Arthur, Terrence, Mike, and then Michael. Sorry, I'm just putting together these scores.
All right, I'm gonna need more whiskey first. Hold on.
It seems as though the last question was difficult. It was kind of difficult-ish to impress both of us at the same time. But that is that's why.
bipartisan.
Yes, hashtag bipartisan. Yes, for sure.
Reach across the aisle.
So, okay, so Arthur on question 2 picked up 6 for 15. Brad 5, now on 11. Brandon 6 for 12. Elan 4 for 13. Karen 7 for 16. Michael 8 for 15. Mike 6 for 13. Terrence 6 for 14. So once again, a Jeopardy-related caption for this here photograph. Karen, you go first.
Okay, hold on. Why is it categories and not dogagories? I'm sorry. I'll go home now. I'll go home now.
You're up next.
It was so bad, Brad left.
Oh, yeah.
Yes! Taking y'all down one terrible pun at a time.
That's one way to do it.
Brandon.
So I don't know if I can beat Karen's there. Celebrity Week reruns again?
What was it?
Celebrity Week reruns again?
Oh.
Brad.
In hindsight, beds were a bad idea for Pet Audience Day.
Arthur.
An opera category. Great.
Terrence.
Oh, I'm up against Ken Jennings today. Maybe I'll hide in the green room and nobody will notice me.
Okay, Mike Duval.
Another Arthur Chu runaway. Wake me up when he's off the show.
Oh, jeez.
Wow.
Yikes.
Such shade.
It's nice to meet you, by the way. I should include that.
Michael.
Why didn't I bet $5 on that daily double? I know that face.
Okay, so once again, thanks to Jerry for posting that lovely photograph of her dog Juno, and I have to say I'm quite impressed with what you guys managed to do with that photograph.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it was not easy. So we're coming up with the scores right now. So we have an opportunity. Let's see here. Question 4. I'm going to say the person starting will be Brandon. And the fourth question, what one product would you want to see Alex Trebek become a pitchman for? So something to think about while we come up with the scores. We are apparently losing panelists by the bucket full
Uh-oh.
here. I'm not entirely sure why there are such technical difficulties here, but in terms of scores, I can carry on with that. What I may do, I may just change the order somewhat. In any case, hopefully Elan and Brandon will be able to make their way back in soon. In any case, scores on the captions. Karen picks up 8 for 24. Elan picks up 8 for 21. Brandon 7 for 19. Brad 6 for 17. Arthur 8 for 23. Terrence 7 for 21. Um, Mike Duval, you may want to reconsider your shade next time. Picks up just 5 for 18. And Michael Bilow picks up 5 for a total of 20. Okay, everyone's back in now, hopefully, crossing fingers. Good. Looks like everyone's managed to reconnect. Once again, the question here, what one product would you want to see Alex Trebek become a pitchman for? Brandon,
Oh, crap.
you go
That's the
first.
question beforehand.
Yes.
Dang it. He's already a pitchman for life insurance, so maybe like a Ferrari or something. Something dangerously putting on the edge. Yeah, maybe like a sports car pitchman.
Sorry, I missed that answer. You were cutting out a
Yeah, I
bit.
can't hear you, Brandon. I don't know why.
Am I cutting out again? Okay.
No, it was just really soft, and when I turned it all the way up, I could hear background noise from other people, but not you.
Oh, that's weird. Okay.
Sorry.
So I was saying that like he's already a life insurance pitchman, so he'd like go the other way and be like a sports car, exotic sports car pitchman or something like that. Like live on the edge.
Okay.
Put your life in jeopardy. You could say that. So like for some company like Ferrari or Lamborghini or Jaguar or something.
Okay. Brad, what about you?
Okay, well, I don't think I'm alone when I say that I want the mustache to come back. But I'll take it a step further and say that what I really want to see is Alex Trebek with a beard. So maybe Bluebeard's beard wash might be a good product. I know that's out there. Or maybe some sort of styling gel because, I mean, you know, I'd spend more than 30 years with no beard. I think it's time to represent the beard.
Arthur.
I'm going to go in the exact opposite direction there. I think Alex Trebek should be a pitchman for a Dollar Shave Club. I think that the hook should be people voting to stop the Dollar Shave Club delivery so that he's without a razor for that month and the mustache comes back. And we can start mustache versus no mustache civil war again. It's marketing gold.
Interesting idea. Terrence.
How about Alex Trebek's portrait studio? We could have all kinds of ideas with Alex with his arm around you. You could have calendars, mouse pads, coffee mugs, you name it.
Mike.
All right. Well, I remember from my taping, and I think this is a common kind of question that he gets asked during the breaks: is how do you stay in such good shape for a man your age? And he always laughs it off and says, "Oh, I'm not really in good shape at all. Every day for breakfast, I have a Diet Coke and a Snickers bar, but my doctor made me change that, and now I've changed that to a Diet Pepsi and a Milky Way. So I think there's 2, possibly 4 sponsorship opportunities right there. So, I mean, we're just multiplying those opportunities right there. Like the man needs any help, but.
Okay, Michael.
I personally would like to see Alex introduce the phrase craft dinner into the American English lexicon from the Canadian English dictionary. So craft macaroni and cheese is what I would like to see.
Karen.
Well, aside from this delicious rye whiskey, which is getting me through the night, I think he's an American citizen now, but Trebek is well known for being a secret Canadian. So I feel like introducing good old Canadian products to America is the way to go. Like, wouldn't you want to eat poutine from Alex Trebek? I know I would.
From in what sense? That's
Maybe not from the mustache.
And once again, Elan, what one product that you want to see Alex become a pitchman for?
I got booted off, so I'm not sure if anyone said this, but Viagra?
okay.
And back to the whiskey.
Or for Bob Dole.
Okay. So my question for Michael Bilow, this will not affect how I score you, but on craft dinner, ketchup or no ketchup?
For me personally, ketchup is a one food, maybe two. One food and a little bit on a second food, and that is definitely on French fries and a little bit on a hamburger. But on anything else, I find it very, very odd and like scary.
Okay, that's fair. I'm sure some people tuning in either on the replay or live will find that last line of questioning rather amusing after something that happened on Twitter a few days ago, but that's okay. Scores from question 4, they are in already. Yeah, I feel as though Viagra might have been ill-advised. I'm sorry, Elan.
Took a chance.
You don't want to take out of context.
Okay, yeah, I think I need to get into the whiskey too. Let's see here. Brandon picks up 6 for 25, Brad 6 for 23, Arthur 8 for 31, Terrence 6 for 27, Mike Duval 7 for 25, Michael Bilow 6 for 26, Karen 6 for 30, Elan just 2 for 23.
Tough call.
Okay, number
a little
5.
hard to swallow.
Boo.
Keep going.
Question 5. I know a lot of people, I know a lot of diehard fans don't like Celebrity Jeopardy, but you know, they do bring in a lot of casual people, casual fans. However, for this one, we're going to go into Celebrity Jeopardy. I want you to, by the way, I'm going to start this one on Michael Bilow. Select 3 celebrities who, while they would be incredibly entertaining behind the podium, would nonetheless play a terrible game of Jeopardy. Like, you know, 3 people who would have trouble finishing in the, you know, outside of the red sort of thing, but still very entertaining when they play the game.
Sure. Let's see. Where would I go? I'll take Zach Brown of the Zach Brown Band. I've got no confidence in that man's intelligence, but I think he's got a good deal of charm. So we'll have to pair him with a more sardonic character. So let's go with a Cat Williams, famous comedian and pimp, who's really nutso. And let's see who pairs the Zach Brown of the Zach Brown Band and Cat Williams. Let's see. Well, I mean, part of a terrible game of Jeopardy, I would say, is one player mercilessly beating down the other 2. So I'll go with let's say the poet Li Young Lee, the Chinese American poet Li Young Lee, who I would assume would just wreck them. Not that he would need much help, but I feel like he'd be a nice contrast. And I enjoyed his poem Persimmons.
Karen.
I think America is with me in loving to see an all Kardashian Jeopardy. any combination of the Kardashian Jenners. We've got Kim, Khloe, Courtney, Kylie, Kendall, Rob. We can even bring in Kanye and Scott. But I know that if that came true, that it would all be worth it. So I think that would be a really entertaining, really terrible game. But Kim was actually on Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me on NPR, and the NPR literati got all up in arms about, like, oh, how dare you pollute our show with Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian is what America needs, damn it. So that's my vote. Make that happen, guys. I think we've got a lot of star power here and can make that happen. And to vote for America.
Elan, what do you think?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
All right. I was gonna use the Kardashian. Instead, I'm gonna go with some other celeb reality people. So, how about Andy Cohen from Bravo TV, Honey Boo Boo from TLC, and let's throw in Hulk Hogan.
Okay.
Brandon, you're up next.
Okay. Try to pick like 3 different areas of celebrities. So Donald Trump, he like came to mind really quickly, for obvious reasons. I thought of the Celebrity Jeopardy, the old Celebrity Jeopardy sketches, and I remember Bjork was on one of them, not the real Bjork. She'd be interesting at least. She might like secretly be really good at Jeopardy, but she might just say like weird things in Icelandic and freak us all out. So. And then Paula Dean. She's actually going to be in Desk of the Stars, so we can see her in kind of a different non-cooking setting. But she would be really weird. Her accent's pretty hard to understand. She's kind of charming, but it just might be strange to have her on Jeopardy. So that'd be a pretty interesting trio.
Brad.
Okay, so I think first off, I'm going to go with David Lee Roth. I think he would bring a lot to the table as far as entertainment value goes, without possibly getting many correct answers. And building off what Karen said, I think Kanye is an overlooked gem in this question here. I think he would have a lot to say to the other contestants, whether or not he gets first place, so that would be entertaining. And last, I'm just going to say George W. Bush and leave it at that.
Yep.
Arthur.
Okay, so I'm going to piggyback off of Karen. A while ago, I would have put Taylor Swift and Kanye West in there, but they've settled there. So this is not a dig on the intelligence of any of these people, but after the VMAs, I want to see Taylor Swift, Nicki Minaj, and Miley Cyrus behind the podiums on Jeopardy, because I think the drama would so far outweigh the game itself that it'll be ratings gold. So.
Yeah.
Terrence.
I think the only right answer to this is Mike Tyson. He's probably said more inane things than anybody else. He'd definitely make for good TV. Donald Trump would probably not let anybody get a word in edgewise if he was on there. And then finally maybe Will Ferrell. I'm thinking of the scene in Old School where he just kind of becomes possessed during the debate and just blurts out some brilliant answer that he's not capable of. That working pretty well.
Okay. And last but not least, Mike Duval.
Thank you. Well, thinking of Celebrity Jeopardy, recently I think a person who really came out and surprised us was Andy Richter. So I'm going to go with his taller, slimmer other half and go with Conan O'Brien because I've seen I love his show. All of his behind-the-scenes segments on the show where he goes to the writer's room and stuff, like doing the Clueless Gamer segments, he just does not care about anything that you care about. He will not take the game seriously at all, and it will be hilarious. I would also pair him next to Kevin Hart because Conan's about this tall and Kevin Hart would be about here, so his box would have to be pretty much maxed out to even come close to Conan. And plus he's got the high energy, he would ring in, he would be like bringing it in and all high pitched, and that was not even that wasn't supposed to be an impression, that was awful. And then Yeah, baseball. And then I would say, as far as people who I think might finish in the negatives and just be a total embarrassment to the game, I would say E.L. James, author of the 50 Shades series.
Oh.
Because apparently apparently, I don't know how I know this, the writing in those books is apparently like second grade reading level. So I don't have confidence that she would do too well against Conan and Kevin.
Well, to be fair, E.L. James is working from some of the worst source material because I read on New Year's Eve in 2013, 15 pages of the first Twilight book, and I mean.
And you fell in love, and it was awesome, and it was because if that's not how this sentence ends, I'm walking.
I have a vampire baby now, but but we're married, so I guess that's what was supposed to happen. That book.
Well, after all we've talked about tonight, question 6 might be really difficult for everyone. For those of you who have been paying attention to some of our previous panels, you'll know that the 6th and final question, as we come up with our scores on question 5, is to come up with a summary of tonight's panel in a 140-character tweet. So that is the general thing. You've got some time to think about it. I am going to start this one with Brad. Brad will have the first tweet, and then we will go to Arthur, Terrence, the Michaels, Karen, Elan, and Brandon. Okay. Five. Okay. Sorry. Okay, so let's see here. Michael picks up 4 points for a total of 30. Karen picks up 6 for 36. Elan 7 for 30. Brandon 7 for 32. Brad 7 for 30. Arthur 9 for 40. Terrence 7 for 34. And Mike 6 for 31. So, Brad, you'll go first. Once again, summarize tonight's Jeopardy live panel in 140 characters or fewer. What I'll be doing with this, this will actually be the contents of the voting tweet that I'll be putting out so that your fans can vote in the fan vote on Twitter portion of this tournament. So, summarize tonight's panel in 140 characters or fewer.
All right. Jeopardy champs chat whiskey, Viagra, and 50 Shades.
Arthur.
I had something very close to that. So.
Sorry.
Whiskey, Viagra, and Alex Trebek's mustache. A dangerous combination.
Terrence.
Alex Trebek and Viagra is no joking matter.
Okay. Mike.
Tune in next time to see Mike hold up a piece of paper with @ArthurEffects phone number. Hashtag Mike 2016. Hashtag make Duvalica debate again. Hashtag sorry Arthur. As I break all of the glasses on the shelf behind me.
Michael.
I have a dogatonic, dogastrophic, dogaclism, dogged by doggone doggerel.
Karen. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going
Hashtag, hashtag dogagories, not categories. Hashtag not enough whiskey in the world.
Elan.
Help crowdfund Jeopardy DVDs and get the Kardashians to make an appearance on Celebrity Jeopardy.
And Brandon.
I'd swipe right. I'd swipe right for Alex Trebek. Hashtag no shame.
Okay, so while we come up with the final scores, okay, boy, just want to remind everyone that the next time I come on will be the first semifinal. You'll have to pay attention to the JeopardyFan.com to find out when that is. Once we determine who the semifinalists are, we will figure out scheduling and then attempt to put 3 semifinals of 7 people together. So yes, tonight's final scores. I will unveil these in reverse order of score. Okay, sorry, we're just trying to put these in. I think, well, I have to say, there were a few times where you managed to impress one of us, but not the other.
Oh.
On the scores, and
Is it because I'm a
On the
BYU
tweets?
fan?
Pardon me?
Is it because I'm a BYU fan?
Oh.
Oh.
I'm wearing red. I'm wearing red.
That was good, Brandon.
I was actually gonna. Yeah, Brandon, you might. Oh, you know, I'll save that joke for about 30 seconds from now. Okay, so I'm going to start off with Michael Bilow. He had 30 points. His
Oh, I thought that was it. I thought.
No, he had 30. His team picks up 7, and he finishes at 37.
Too bad.
Okay, let's see. Elan had 30. His team picks up 8 for 38. Brad had 30. His tweet picks up 9 for 39. Okay, Mike Duval had 31. His tweet picks up 6 for 37. Brandon needed a bit of a Hail Mary here on his tweet for his for his score to go up, and he picks up perfect 10.
Yeah, good. I'm glad.
That puts his score at 42. Terrence had 34. He picked up 6 to go to 40. Karen had 36. She picked up 6 to finish at 42, tied with Brandon. Arthur had 40. His tweet gets a 7. That puts him at 47. He is in the lead at the end of the debate portion. Of course, there are still 20 points available, possible for everyone. The Google poll will come out at 11:30 p.m. Eastern. The Twitter tweets to vote for also will come out at 11:30. That will give, and then they will be open for 48 hours. Then we'll know who the winners are, who the wild cards are. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. Also, thanks to Jerry for the picture of Juno. She seems very happy that Juno is now apparently famous for her appearance on Jeopardy Live panel. So thank you all for tuning in, for taking part. For Jeannie, myself, and all the panelists, have a great night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.